Om Sri Sai Ram. Sai Ram. We'll continue again with the same session that we had in the morning. Our brother Aruna. We will have question answers. Those will be answered now. He has already received some questions that he is going to start with. If there is time, he will be able to take more questions as well. I know morning session was very deep, and we are going to continue with that as well. The wisdom is all flowing through Swami. Sai Ram.
I offer my loving salutations at the lotus feet of my dearest Master, Sai Ram. I was given a set of questions, so I don't have to start off with that. I would rather speak on what you all are interested in rather than what I am interested in. So I will start off with that, and if there are no questions, I will move on to whatever comes to me. So there are basically three questions. So I'll first start off with, how did you cope with your wife's passing? Did Swami say why? How do you deal with grief and death of your loved ones? I think so. I grouped them into one. The second question, did you ever ask Swami why you have to go through this? The third one is, your hand is so full, still you do all organizations work. How? Apparently I do with a smile, so many people feel I am too serious. So I will start off with the first one. How do you deal with grief and death of your wife? And did Swami say why? See, my marriage was arranged by Swami. Because it so happened my father-in-law was the librarian at the institute. So they were looking for a match for their daughter. So apparently, if somebody suggested, he would write a letter and ask Swami. At one point, there were three which came apparently at the same time. So he was waiting and he got up and asked Swami, I have three alliance suggestions. What should I pursue? Then Swami looked at it and he picked mine and said, do this. So father-in-law contacted us, and we also went. So we said, okay, if that is so. So my mother was very happy. She was praying, and somebody from Prashant Nilayam writes a letter saying that we have to reduce, and of course she was ecstatic. So we went to Parthi, and of course Swami never looked at me, never said anything. So 2 years we were on wait mode. We were fine, but my father-in-law was very troubled. So at one point he asked for a date, and Swami said, bless the date. Then he said, Swami has blessed the date, and invitation was printed, and our wedding took place. But Swami was not present, Swami did not speak with me. But it happened in Pathamandiram. Pathamandiram, I don't know, the old mandir of Swami, which became a Kalyana Mandapam. So I still remember wedding took place in Andhra style. I sat there at the station, I just, that was you see, my mother was saying, so I should ask Swami, because Swami had materialized thali for my brother, older brother. So Swami should do something. Without that, at some point I said, Swami did not come down on earth to be a marriage priest, a marriage broker, a barber. This is the way we treat Swami. We will say, Swami, our child, cut their hair, he will cut. I will say, Swami, doctor, all this. But he is Bhavaroga Vaidya. He came, God doesn't come down to give watches, rings. He doesn't have to, we can buy it in a store. Of course, with a lot of love he gives. The love with which he gives is more. My philosophy is that Swami came down to explain to us what actually is going on in everyone's life. If I go there and Swami gives me a ring, or Swami gives me money, it is to prove that wherever you are in this world, every being in this world is actually being looked after by God. But you all don't know. So he came down to show, this is what I am doing, this is my job. It is not that one individual was picked up because they were fortunate. I look back and I don't really deserve that I have done something that I deserve that God's attention. But God is attending to everyone. It is just that in a classroom, if the teacher is explaining something, he will say, okay, boy, you get up, one student will be picked up and she will demonstrate the lesson through that student. Of course, that student will behave as if I am the favorite of the child, the teacher, and so on. But the teacher actually does not care. The message is for everyone in the classroom. There may be others sitting there and saying, oh, that fellow is getting chance, today the teacher is talking. They will miss the lesson. The fellow who is thinking, I am the best, he will also miss the lesson. The intelligent ones will pick up the lesson. And the class is done. The fellow will think, I am my teacher's pet, and go, he has missed the entire class. And those who are jealous also, they also miss the class. This is Swami's Leela. Okay, so I told my mother, let us not worry. You want a marriage, we will do the marriage. See, in Patha Mandiram it is happening, so let us do it. Actually, the day before, so we did not even do the thali for the wedding. The thali is generally done on auspicious day. You go to the goldsmith and do. My parents didn't do anything. So my father-in-law came and said, tomorrow is the wedding. And my mother said, we don't have thali. He, as if it was, pay arranged, Tamil they will say, as if somebody has been beaten by ghosts, as they say. He was shocked. And he said, what to do? And he was looking at me. So I said, we will do something. Then I told my mother, we should not bug Swami for a thali, that he should bless. I don't want him to bless me for a wedding, marriage. I would rather get his blessing for something better. You want a marriage, we will do the marriage. So, previous evening I went to the Puttaparthi village, searched for a goldsmith, and that fellow did the thali. So that's how it was. Then our marriage took place. So that I still remember, just after marriage, we could go to the Patha Mandiram altar, where Swami, original mandir, we can take blessing. And I said, Swami, you have, I don't know what I deserved, you have done the marriage. Make sure that, whatever you wish has come. So the thing is, when my wife was passing, I remembered that. It was exactly 25 years, our marriage life lasted. But when somebody dies, we just get attached. What exactly is attachment is, I will not have this person in my life. I will not have, the dead person may be happy that they are freed of all this. Must have been waiting, praying silently. But for example, many older people suffer, they're bedridden. We still pray, Swami, let them not die. But that person must be praying every day, let me go, I don't want to suffer. So many times we feel sad because we don't have somebody in our life. We will not be able to see the person. So the day she passed, actually when it was happening, because my wife was initially troubled because we have two children who are disabled, they need round the 24-hour care. So she was worried about them. If I go, who will look after? Bathing, everything has to be done. At that time, we did not have much support also, professional support. So she was worried about all that. So the last day, she was dosing and I was telling her, don't worry. God gives health, He takes away health. He gives life, He takes away life. He is looking after. If I think I am the one who is looking after, then it's my folly. You allocate a duty, when your job is done, He will transfer. So it's okay. But the most important thing is think of Him and live. But I just wanted some sign, and the Vibhuti came, that's how Vibhuti came. And the next day, she was on life support. So we had to turn off life support. So I approached the hospital people and said, I would like to move her to a room, different room, small room. We would like to have some prayers before you turn. They said, okay. So I told, some youth, just like here, there are some youth in Toronto also. They sing very well. Actually, at home, every week, at least twice, they will come and sing bhajans or practice, whatever you want to call it. So they were all very attached to it, so they will come and pray. So they said yes. So then when I went, they said, we don't want to move her from the ICU because while moving, something may, some connection or, everything is life support. Something may come off and she may pass away. So, you will feel trouble. So let her be in the ICU itself. You can pray there. So I said, there will be a small crowd, about 20, 25. They said, it's not a problem. I said, we may be a bit loud, noisy. It may disturb. Then that doctor laughed and said, most of the patients there will not be upset. Because they are all under sedation. Then I said, but their family members may be there, they may be. Then he said, they will be understanding. So I said, 25. He said, no problem. In the end, there were about 60 people. And we had an hour-long bhajan. And they turned off. I said, turned off now, So it was one of the best bhajans, I would say. And that's it. So these are, when somebody dies, where do they go? See, if we believe that Swami is looking after us here, Swami is looking after there, why should we worry? What are we worried about? Because wherever we are under His care. Once you cultivate that faith, nothing should trouble anyone. We should not be selfish. Maybe they got promotion. You don't know. Will you grudge somebody who got promotion and went, except for selfish reasons? So actually everyone who dies is actually promoted. Because they have passed this class. This class is not needed anymore. Another class. So we should be happy. If we are holding them down, that means it's for our selfish. So I think we should not worry that we don't have them because it's selfishness. We should not worry that no one will take care. The God who look after them here only is going to look after. If we do not understand or believe, and it's not part of our life, we will always be sad. See, Swami, to his brother, he wrote this poem in 1940. I don't know, everyone should know. Akila Manavulaku Ananda Manavurchi Rakshinchi Chudute Dikshanaku. Like that, that's the Padyan. And his Swami is telling his brother what his life mission was. In that there is one line, he says, Manchi Chattala Kuda Manasulo Samamuga Bhavinchi Chuttade Bhaktina. If you are a bhakta, a devotee, you should treat good and bad as equal in your mind. If you are not doing that, then there is no bhakti. This is Swami's definition. So, this is something which I always repeat myself for. I have repeated because Swami has given enough situations to learn this. I remember September, my twin boys, I have twin boys. Both of them are autistic. One is non-verbal, the other one is low functioning. So when they were diagnosed at the age of 3, for most parents, parents usually build, castles, of their children, their future, career, this, that. We live in the future. Swami says, don't worry about the past, don't think about the future, present is more important. But can't help it, we will say, oh, my child will be this, he will go to school, maybe he will get a degree, he will get a job, and he will live very well, he will get married, he will have children, and his children will, it repeats. And these are imagination, which is the normal people. The world, everyone is has it. So that got crumbled, it's just dashed. You think I will be the ideal father, we will bring up children. And then the reality is, when they were conceived, my father-in-law got up and Swami gave Vibhuti and Vibhuti came home. They were delivered, my father-in-law got up and said, Swami, my daughter has delivered. Swami gave Vibhuti, Vibhuti came home. They were diagnosed, she got up and told Swami, Swami gave Vibhuti packets came home. So in life, we think something, the way we have an expectation of how our life should unfold. And we are sad. Why? Because we think purpose of life is to be successful in this world. See, so some people say, oh, this child, he is not studying, he has not read, he can't speak. Like one of my son, I'm telling this because these are things which help me deal with it, okay? So one of my son stopped talking. When they were up to 3, they would chant the Gayatri, they would sing Arati, they would sing Asatoma, they would sing Paramam Pavitram Sir Vibhuti. At the age of 3, everything stopped. Suddenly up to stop. So maybe something went wrong. We looked and looked. They say there's some terminology in medical profession. Some autistic children, they say something breaks at some point. I don't know what it is. So one of them stopped talking completely. The other one stopped, but then he started talking after a couple of days. I never prayed to Swami that he should cure them, because I thought I should pray for something better. So the only prayer, if at all, about my children, I said, Swami, I know you are taking care. But I will be happy if this fellow who is not talking, at least he says Sai Ram, I will be happy. Nothing else. He doesn't need to do, but just for my satisfaction. Because I know you are looking after, but I will feel happy. That was the only prayer I had about my children. Because, see, we think a child, unless she studies, practices, knows that Swami is God, he may not even improve in life. But the reality is, it is like the butterfly, it goes into a cocoon. We think nothing is happening. And there's a story of, somebody is saying, a butterfly is trying to come out, you break it open, the butterfly can't fly. But the metamorphosis happened inside the cocoon and we don't even know. So no life in this world is actually wasted. So that fortunately, Swami's grace, I have that understanding. So I used to pray. But my son today, he's 26 years old, but that son, he can't even tell, no sentence comes out. At the most he can ask some food items, he would say orange, fries, lunch, like that, so he can say nothing else. But he walks around the house singing, Sai Tumaho, Ram, Tumaho, like that he's singing bhajans and walking around. So, we don't know what goes on in anyone's life, including ours. We may go through 60 years, 70 years. We really don't know the metamorphosis happening. Because we are actually distracted by the world. So I think we should, so these are things which prepare. That purpose of life is completely different. God is in charge. We should not have any expectations how our life should unfold. The only thing which matters is every day we should ask ourselves whether we have thought of God. So Swami has told everything. This discourses. Fortunately for me. So now you understand why he made sure that I read the Vahinis in 84. He said, no, all these courses will not help you, Ra. You need to study this if you have to face life. Okay? If I am telling you all today, that's a message from Swami. Otherwise, I don't need to have been brought here. If at all I have faced Swami and Swami's teachings, which is equally available to everyone. He has given the best of treasures. There is a story, maybe I will tell a story just to make it should not be a story about me. Swami also has told me, at what time am I stopping?
3:45.
Okay, just tell me. So there's a story, there was a rich person, rich family. They were in the farming business. They had one son. The fellow was a lazy fellow. They tried to tell him, look here, you have to work hard, nothing. He was eating and sleeping and just whiling away his time. So, what they did, they had a lot of wealth. They said, this we can't give it to this fellow, he will spend it away. So they dug the ground behind their the farm area and put all the treasures in different parts of the ground. And they died. This fellow was not told where the treasure was. Their thing was one day he will think he has to do farming, he will farm, and while doing that he will find it. Because by then he has learned that he should work, then he can have the money. That was their. This fellow should stand. He didn't know, he didn't want to try. He will sit outside and apparently he will beg outside his home. And people used to take pity and give him, a penny here, a penny there. With that, he was aching his livelihood. One day he became weak, disease, and died. The village people wanted to bury him. So his parents were apparently buried in the backyard. So they went to bury this fellow. So when they dug, they found the money. So then they felt, this old couple, they must have been hiding their wealth. They were laggarding, they were scolding their parents. But there was one wise man who came and told them, look here, they had hidden it little. There was a little bit of effort needed. If only he had paid that, he would have got it. Okay? That is our story also. Swami has left all the treasures in his teachings. If we are not going to do some plowing and find out, we will also die one day like that poor fellow. And then somebody else may dig out the wealth. And hopefully they will learn from that. So I think Swami has given all the teaching lessons. We need to know we are not the body. And everyone talks about we have to go beyond the form, attachment to the form. I think that was the topic yesterday. Before you lose attachment to the form of God, we should lose attachment to our form before we lose attachment to the God's form. This many people do not understand. Until we learn and we are totally convinced that we are not the body, we are not the mind, we have to hold on to the form of the Lord. The day we go past the idea of we are not the body, we are not the mind, then you can let go. Because you will fly. Otherwise, if you lose it, Not you won't fly, you will go in the other direction. Which is what happens. We'll say, I am God. God is everywhere. If we go to the lake, can you drink the water? Water everywhere. Water everywhere, not a drop to drink. I think that's a poet, I guess. This is our Lord. We'll say, God is everywhere. But we are unable to drink that Lord. Okay, I think see, there are some of these concepts Swami has taught, but we take half-baked, pick one, and sometimes delude ourselves. So if we are devotees, again I will go to Bhakti, Narada Bhakti. So Swami has got a rap. Swami is telling, it says, Yallabdvan, Yallabdvan, Tripto Bhavati, Stapto Bhavati, Matto Bhavati, Atma Ramo Bhavati. These are qualities of a devotee. Before we spread love everywhere, we should know whether we have filled our container with love. At that point in time, we should be santripti, means total contentment. We should not have worry, we should not have fear. At that point in time, we will be ready to spread the message of love. Spread the message of 5 values. Until then, we have not even scratched the surface of the 5 values which everyone talks about. We go about sub-value this, sub-value that. It is like eating a sub, it is, we have not understood what exactly Swami meant. See, if you go around the world and ask any person from any religion, we have these 5 values. Truth. They will say, we are already practicing truth. Right conduct, dharma, we don't break the laws. Love means, yes, we love neighbors, we give, some charity. Peace, we don't fight with anyone. Ahimsa, we don't hurt anyone. So everyone is following. Who is not following in this world? So what did Swami come and teach? What Swami came to teach, my understanding is to get a better understanding of this. So if we can cultivate a little bit of fraction of devotion, you can face any challenge, any loss. Because you have faith. The Lord is my keeper. The Lord is keeper of everyone. I am just a trustee. So I hope that answered the first question. It's my understanding, I am trying, and that has helped to some extent. Did you ever ask Swami why you have to go through this? I never asked Swami why I got an admission in Swami's institution. Why he even talked to me. When things are going good, we never ask. When things are going bad, we ask. But Kunti actually told the story, ask for difficulties. Then you think of the Lord. I talked about 5 years ago, the 3 days, 27, 28, 29, and today it's 5 years after, 27, 28, 29. That prepared me to enjoy this in full. Swami says, na sukha, from sukha, na sukha labhyate sukha. Okay? From sukha, you will not get sukha. From happiness, you will not get sukha. So everything comes, which I have heard so many times. Swami saying, and how can I ask Swami, why should I have to go through? He will say, I have already told you. Na sukha, sabhyate sukha. Only through difficulty you will get. See, Swami, many people think, we want golden age. So we think, what is golden age? There won't be adharma in this world. Everyone will be dharmic. There won't be sorrow. Everyone will be happy. This is our imagination of golden age. Swami said, in the world there will be always adharma, there will always be dharma. Just the way there is light and darkness. Just the way there is a Lakshmi and Alakshmi, Jeshta and Kanishta. You know, Lakshmi has an older sister called Jeshta. I don't know how many of you know Jeshta. So apparently, Swami tells this story again. Apparently once Lakshmi and her older sister wanted to know who is more beautiful. So they went to the Trimurtis, Shiva, Vishnu and Brahma, and asked them the question. They knew it's better to avoid answering this. So they said, apparently, we don't want to get involved in this. We have to find somebody else to answer this. You know, like politicians, I guess, you know, dodging the question. So they went to Narada. Because Narada, you know, he goes around and he has seen enough people. So he may know, who looks better. If there's anyone else better looking than us, all this. So they got hold of Narada. Narada normally creates some problem to solve. But this time he thought about it and he said, he sent them to apparently a Banaras, a very rich merchant. It's a devotee. He said, you go to this fellow and ask him. And so both Lakshmi and older sister went and asked this fellow this question. That fellow was really worried. He was a rich merchant, whatever he says, if he says Lakshmi is better, Alakshmi will cause problem. That's the problem for him. If he says Alakshmi is good, Lakshmi will leave. So he thought for a long time and then he said, okay, both of you just walk up and down, he told them apparently, so they walked up and down. Then he told, see, both of you look beautiful. Jeshta, Alakshmi, when she's walking away from me, from behind, she looks very, very beautiful. Lakshmi, not so good when she's looking, but when she's coming towards me, she's very, very beautiful. So Swami told this story. So in this world, dharma and adharma will always be good. We need to know what should be discarded, what should be taken up. Swami talks about this in Rudram and Chamakam. Namakam is all about name, not mine. Chame, it's mine. So Swami says you should know what you should give up and what you should take. You take a banana, you throw the peel, eat the fruit. You can do it opposite also, some people can. Some people can eat both. These are things. So in life, there will always be difficulties, always bad things. You should be able to deal with it. So when bad happens, take that as prasadam because that will take you towards the Lord. When good happens, that's a blessing from the Lord, that also you accept. So these are all, and I am just parroting, okay? I am parroting so that I remind myself, so that I also can, try to practice, so that's that. So I don't ask Swami why this happens to me. Okay? We need to know what to do with life. So, never problems will go away from this world. We should not dwell on that. We should dwell on the Lord. Because the problems have always been there. Mahabharata, Ramayana, when has no problems been there? So it is always there. Okay? Your hand is so full, still you do all organization work, always have smile on. Okay? See, Swami taught me one of the first lessons Swami taught was, you should be happy. I think I have told this story, I think many of you may have listened, so I don't want to repeat it.
Go ahead with the story.
Again, I think maybe some we have not heard.
No, it's okay.
Pardon, it's okay?
Yeah.
That was the first lesson Swami taught for me. So in 1979, I came to join Puttaparthi. Brother Tribhuvan also joined at that time. It was a wonderful time. So Puttaparthi was a new college, and my brother had asked Swami whether I could come in. Swami said yes. So my mother brought me and Swami gave us all interview. My mother had to go back, her visa was expiring. So I got admission. Swami gave us an interview. Swami asked, "Hey, Rowdy, you want to really study here?" Then Swami, then my mother left and I got admission and I joined the college. See, I was in a new country. Everyone was talking in their regional, Karnataka boys will talk in Kannada among themselves, Telugu boys, Hindi. And even if they spoke English, it sounded very foreign to me. And my English was foreign to me. Accents didn't match. So I felt alienated. The only person who I thought I know and who I thought he knows is Swami. So Swami used to spend a lot of time with the students. Very few of us walk around and talk to everyone as much as possible. Every day, morning and evening. But the problem was, Swami was not talking to me. Swami ignoring, I talked about ignoring earlier in the morning. That time also ignored me completely. No talking, no smiling, not even looking at me. 1 day passed, 2 days passed, 1 week passed, 2 weeks passed. I was becoming miserable. So I started writing letter and giving to Swami. Swami, please talk to me. But Swami picked up every letter without looking at me. Many times Swami will be talking to somebody and his hand will reach and take my letter. It went on for a few days and I was becoming angry and sadder. And one day Swami called, in the morning, he called me and my brother for an interview. Elder brother had come and Swami gave an interview. We trooped into the interview room. Swami closed the door, came inside and looked around at everyone, and when he looked at me, his face changed. His eyes became blood red. He said, "Get out. Why are you here? I don't want boys like you here." He turned to my brother and said, "Take him now itself, pack his luggage, put him in the bus and go. I don't want to ever see him again." I didn't know what had happened. I started crying. And then Swami went around talking to others. Then there were people laughing, so I opened my eyes. As soon as I opened my eyes, Swami turned and again scolded me. He said, "Why are you still here? You should go. I don't want you here." Again I continued to cry. So I cried for about 45 minutes. And Swami, individual, I don't know whether you know, Swami had an interview room, big one, and there's a small one where he will talk to people privately, individuals. He was doing that, and at the end he said, "Now you come." So I went inside. And Swami told me, "Why are you unhappy? Why are you sad? Why are you not happy? I don't want people who are not happy here." He said, "I have brought you from thousands of miles away. I have given you admission and you are here. And you are not happy. You are saying, Swami is not looking at me, Swami is not talking to me, Swami is not smiling at me, and you are unhappy. You don't know what I have done for you." They just looked there, and I looked there, and there was a wall, and for a minute the wall wasn't there. He said, "Look at those boys. They would prefer to be in your position, and they are crying. And you are sitting here and you are crying. You don't know, my love is of 1,000 mothers, and I don't know when you will understand. If you are not happy, don't be here." And he walked out. I didn't know whether I am staying or going. During that, actually, one of the things he told was, you know what you have written in your letter? You wrote that Swami's heart is like a rock. I said, "No, Swami." He said, "No, I have the letter up there, I will bring it later." I said, "No. Okay." Because, these poets write, "God, your heart doesn't it melt, at my plight," like that, You read some of this literature and you think, okay, I will also write Nindastuti. So I wrote. So my thing was, I'm not a lawyer, but there was a point, I didn't say that, is it like a rock I asked, I didn't say you have. That was my point. You can't argue with Swami. And of course, I did not want to argue there because anyway he's throwing me out. But when Swami let me go, I just fell at his feet and I sobbed. And he picked me up and he said, Bangaru, don't cry, I will always keep you with me. And he said, but I learned that I should, whatever happens, I should be happy. And I think in that 45 minutes, I cried enough that he wiped my tears forever. And that is his blessing. So if I am able to face, it is only because of his grace. It is not my effort. My effort is only to hold on to his feet. It's the way I look at it. And somebody asks, how do you find time? See, in a day we only have 24 hours. We may sleep for 6 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours, then we have time. We can only do what we can do within that time. Do what you can, what you can't do, you can't worry about. But within what you do, you have to choose what to do, what not to do. But the reality is, you do a little bit and he will do the rest. So he is someone who has come and done household chores for Sakubhai. He has done all kinds of things for his devotees. But we are worried. I can stand and say, if I die, what will happen to my children? Yes, which is a very practical thing, What should be the answer? I only think he has assigned me a job. If he wants to transfer me, then he will have to find somebody. The child is not mine. It is just in my home and I am given a job. As Swami says, you should be like the school principal who look after all the children, and one day the transfer order comes. You will just get moved to the other school. They will find another principal, another teacher. So I think we need to see this story Swami has already told. The advantage is you read, remind yourself, remember, recollect, then it will help. We usually read the newspapers. Swami says next day it's waste paper. We want to know everything else in this world. We spend a lot of time listening to news. If it's a current affair, we need to know, otherwise we can't live. All great devotees, they live because they only read the story of the Lord. But we don't have that faith. I would say, even that faith, strength, memory, everything He will give. Yes, we need to allocate the amount of time we can to the Lord. Even little bit. It comes bountifully. I'm just telling myself, I'm sure all of you also coping with that. So, everything you do as, I can tell, today, if I'm here today, it's miracle. 4 or 5 years ago, I couldn't do this. Now it's unimaginable that my wife is not there, my boys are there, 24 hours they have been cared for, and I could come. For a long time I didn't go out because I just couldn't. People call, I couldn't. But that's also His will. If I couldn't come, I wouldn't have come. If I could, I will come. We should just accept things as they evolve. We should not have an expectation. I'm giving a speech, I may, make a mess of it. I shouldn't worry about it. I just talk. The experience you get is coming directly from me. It's independent of me blabbering here. Otherwise, I will be stressed. What will I tell? Will they be impressed by me? What is there? And just let the Lord do His magic. That's all. Okay, those are the questions I had. I'll finish. Any questions? Otherwise, I will. While somebody is looking, I will tell a nice humorous story.
Yes.
So everything in Parthi is a lesson. Once one devotee, who was a regular devotee, had come to Parthi. I think it was during one of those, my waiting periods. He came, I think he came with his wife. Swami, every day he was picking up for interview. Every day, morning and evening. And whenever he picked up, Swami will say, go inside. He will tell something, he will say, go. So he will go inside the room. Swami will go. And after about 10-15 minutes, they will come out. So I still remember, because I just etched in my memory, because I was waiting to talk to Swami, but this person was going morning and evening every day. I thought, what is Swami talking to him? Why is he spending so much time? It went on for about 5-6 days. So I was thinking I should get the secret from this person, what merit he has done. So but after about 6-7 days, when Swami said go, he refused to go inside the interview. Swami said, go. He said, Swami, no. Can you believe, somebody who is not going inside? Swami became angry and he said, go inside. He said, no, Swami. Then Swami burst out laughing. Swami said, Koblav. He called his wife. So what had happened was, every day apparently Swami was going inside, closing the door, and he was going inside. He would say, sit here, and he will go inside. He will come back, open the door, and they were coming out. Okay. He was getting interviews daily. Pardon? At home. In the room, he was getting interview from his wife. Because she said, did you tell Swami that I am here? He said, no, I couldn't tell. How will anyone believe? This person is going every day morning and every day evening for 15-20 minutes, getting interview. And what did Swami tell? He didn't say anything. But she was not having it. So I think she must have given some ultimatum. So he refused to go. He said, Swami, even if I don't get your grace, it's okay. So Swami burst out laughing. But it seems like a practical joke. But I realized in this world, we imagine about anyone's experience and feel either jealousy, either anger. But we really don't know what goes on in this world. So it's the same thing in this world. God's grace, how it applies to anyone, we don't know. At the surface, things may look different, things may change. But it's all Leela. We all should each understand that don't worry about what happens to anyone. Just focus on your own sadhana, your own connection with the Lord. You don't have to have an intermediary. Connection is with the Lord. See, that lady could have prayed to Swami. She was beating up the husband at home. Actually, so it's a lesson. Swami explained what was going on. I was not giving interview, he was getting interview in the home. But Swami made it a public spectacle, So every small thing Swami did was a lesson. So these are some different ones, Maybe another story I will tell. See, Swami think any word, any question actually we may never understand the meaning. So in my Surgeon, when I had gone to join, one day, it was noon, we were about to have lunch. Somebody knocks on the door of the room where we were staying, and it was a Sevada. He said, there's Arivadita in this room, that's my brother. He said, yes. He said, Swami is calling. So he ran. It was 3, I think C8 or something like that. A8. I thought Swami is calling, so I also ran behind my brother to see what was going on. It was around noon time, Yeah, the premises were all empty. So I stood outside, my brother went inside, he was ushered in, he went into the interview room, was there for about 10-15 minutes and he came back. So I asked him what happened, so he said, I will tell you, and he took us home. And this is what he said, Swami asked me, what is your name? So I told my name, and then he asked me, what is the meaning? So I told the meaning which Swami has told me. And then Swami said, you can leave. He told everyone apparently, did you see? And then he said, you go out. So what had happened about a few months before this, apparently Swami stopped by. He was a student, Vrindavan at that time. Swami one day stopped and asked, what's your name? He said, my name is Arivadita. Swami tried to pronounce it apparently. He was not getting it. So every day he was coming and asking, what is your name? He would say Arivadita. Then Swami was trying to, and apparently after 4-5 attempts, Swami got the name Arivadita. You know how the Lord plays his game. He was asking, what is your name? Arivadita, see, he will tell. Then one day after that, he said, okay, now what is the meaning of the name? So he said, Swami, it's Arivu means knowledge. Aditya means son. Son of knowledge. Swami said, no. Your name should be Arivu Adita. It should be beyond knowledge. You didn't get the meaning right. Arivu Adita means Arivu Adita, that's you're beyond knowledge. So Swami again, he repeated the same thing. Every day he will ask, what is your name? He said, Arivu Adita. What is the meaning? Swami, beyond knowledge. Good. So it went on for a few weeks. So he was fully trained. Then apparently Swami broached this topic in the interview room. I mean, there was Kutumbara, Kasturi, Bhagavandam, Radha Krishna, some small set of people. So Swami asked, this boy, what is his name? Arivadita. Do you know the meaning? So people have said, Swami is son of knowledge. He said, no. It is beyond knowledge. Swami told. Then Swami said, no, Swami, it's like, he said, okay, we will ask from the fellow itself. So he sent word and that's how my brother went. So my brother went and said, Swami, it's beyond knowledge. Swami said, you saw? It's his name and this is the meaning. Then they all said, yes, Swami. Then this went on for a while. And then that's the only story I knew. So it was about 10 years ago. But, I thought, why is Swami wasting his time? In just some, silly things, again and again asking the name, telling the meaning. At that age, about 10 years ago, I realized he's asking, because he's not asking the name of the body. He's not asking the name of the mind. He's asking the name of the Atma. So when Swami says, where are you from? He wants you to meditate on the question, where are you from? See, in Chinese Buddhism, Zen Buddhism, they have this koan system, That's the Guru will give a question. In your life, you spend meditating on that question. So, inadvertently, I was meditating on this question. Though Swami never asked me my name. So, I thought, I have understood now. So, I went to my brother and said, Anna, I got this sudden feeling because it has been working on me for a long time. When he asked you, what is your name? He was not asking the name of the body. The name of the body was given to the body. But your real name, means your Atma's name, is Arivadita. So now I understood. Then my brother told me, oh, then you don't know full story. Apparently, one day Swami stopped by, after this episode, one day he stopped by and asked him, what is your name? He repeated the same thing, what is the meaning? Then Swami asked the question, do you know what is beyond knowledge? He said, Swami, I don't know. God. Then Swami, I'm asking about your name. You are not God. What is your name? What is beyond knowledge? Then Swami apparently said, love is beyond knowledge. Prema is beyond knowledge. So, Swami plays this, it looks very simple, but every word which came out of it, if we contemplate, where are you from? What is your name? When did you come? Everything is spiritual sadhana. So actually, I was talking to Brother Tribhuvan, Swami gave us so many lessons. We didn't understand 99%. But now we sit back and think and recollect the amount of... See, Swami says, Tharva, Tharva, there's another Padyam. I will quote this. Again and again you rub the sandalwood, smell will come. Again and again you rub the wood pieces, fire will come. Again and again you churn the milk, ghee will come. So Swami's teachings are like this. We have to contemplate, and through that, slowly, trickles of it will come and it will help us, and we'll find that essence in all of us, which is nothing but love. But it's a lifelong journey, many lifetime journey. Swami has brought us all today to think about it. So the lessons are all in the treasure which he has bestowed on all of us. We should not forget, even after getting. We should do a little bit of churning. We should allocate some time to contemplate. And we will find that love that will give and give. It exists for giving. May Swami bless us all to take one more step in that direction, in that journey. And so that we can taste that Sudha, that honey. Prema Sudha, Rasa Bharasudha, Swami says. Like the Chataka birds, we should taste that. I pray that Swami blesses all with that, the greatest boon which he has come to give, he still gives and distributes. And Sai-Ram to all of you. I thank every one of you for given me this opportunity, inviting here Brother Paroj. And spend time thinking of the love of the Lord, compassion. Thank you very much. Sai-Ram.
Salam everyone. When my wife and I usually drive over long distance, she usually asks me, multiple times she's asked me, when I'm quiet, when I'm driving, what's in your mind? I'll say nothing. Then she'll say, oh, you're in your empty box. I said, yes, I'm in my empty box. But now, thanks to Brother Aruna, I have an answer for her, that I'm keeping my empty box so that Swami can fill that empty box with his love and grace. My father, when we were growing up, used to say, the fact that you are born in the contemporary age of the Lord is sufficient. You don't have to get his interview. You don't have to have anything. All you have to do is do your duty. Brother Arun very nicely, aptly put that sentence, Dasoham Tavasainata. Dasoham Tavasainata. I'm not going to hold you for another minute, or for more than another minute, before you enjoy the wonderful bhajan that's coming up. Thank you, brother, for taking us through the journey from the bottom of all of our hearts, for taking us through the journey and showing us some nuggets and practical lessons so that our monkey minds shall always rest in Swami's hands. And for showing us the Swami's love and grace is a fuzzy math that we'll never understand. As a token of our appreciation, I would appreciate Brother Pradosh to give a bouquet to Brother Aruna.
సంభవిస్తుంటాయి.
Difficulties and worries come in between.
ఆ సంభవించినంత మాత్రమున మనం దీనికి కష్టమని భావించకూడదు.
Because of these problems and worries, we should not.
ఈ కష్టములకు మనం విచారించకూడదు.
We should not worry too much.
ఇది ఆనందం అందించేటువంటి ప్రథమ సోపానము అని విశ్వసించాలి.
In fact, it is a step that leads you to success and happiness.
పాండవులు 14 సంవత్సరాల కష్టములు అనుభవించడం చేతనే
Pandavas spent 14 years in exile.
కట్టగడపడికి కృష్ణుడు వారి వెంట జంట ఇంట ఉంటుండి వారిని విజయవంతంగా గావించాడు.
For that reason, Krishna was always with them, in them, around them, above them, below them, and conferred success.
ఆ కష్టములందుకు దైవం యొక్క సహాయం ఎంతైనా ఉంటుంటారు.
In times of difficulties, God will stand behind you and help you.
కనుక ఆనాటి పాండవులంతప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ గాడ్.
Pandavas considered God in the first place.
నెక్స్ట్ వర్డ్.
Next comes the word.
థర్డ్ ఐ.
And third eye.
అని వారు దాన్ని వారు వెనుక పెట్టుకున్నారు.
In fact, they kept this eye at the
ఫస్ట్
end.
గాడ్.
God comes first.
ముందు భగవంతుని పెట్టుకొని ప్రపంచం వెనుక పెట్టుకొని నేను అనేటువంటి అహంకారాన్ని మరింత వెనుకకు పెట్టారు.
Keeping God in the first place, they kept behind I, the ego.
కానీ గౌరవం చేసినటువంటి పని ఏమిటి?
What is the Kauravas did?
ఫస్ట్ ఐ.
They kept I at the first place. Next word.
లాస్ట్ గాడ్.
And they kept God at the end, last.
కనుకనే భగవంతుని వెనుకకు పెట్టారు.
They kept God at the end.
కనుకనే వారు అపజయాన్ని పొందారు.
Therefore, they lost the battle.
ఆనందమును ఏమాత్రం వెతికినా చిక్కలేదు.
They never experienced happiness nor success.
దైవత్వాన్ని సమీపంగా చేసుకున్నటువంటి వాడికి ఆనందం ఎప్పుడు కూడా నిండి ఉంటుంది.
The one who is close to God experiences Him.
మనం ప్రతి వ్యక్తిని కూడా గౌరవించాలి.
Respect every person.
ఆ గౌరవించిన సమయంలోనే మనకు తిరిగి ఆ గౌరవం రెండింతలుగా మనకు వెనుక తెలుస్తుంది.
When you respect others, you will be respected in turn.
सीतारामुलु जय राधेश्याम
गंगाधरा हर कैलासनाथ प्रभु शंकरा गंगाधरा हर कैलासनाथ प्रभु शंकरा Bhasma
Om Sri Sai Ram. We have a break of 45 minutes. We will gather again here in the same devotional hall at 5:15. We will have the musical program offered at the Lotus Feet by our young adults and adults, that is young at heart, at 5:15. So please do take this break, have tea and whatever snacks are available there. Sai Ram. See you at 5:10. Sai Ram.